let's just say before I start, I would like to say that this is gonna be a longer video. This is not gonna be something that I've done before, but I really want to do this. Yes, and I'm talking English because fuck it. This was my experience with the project. If I have some things wrong, or it was meant to be interpreted in a different way, I'm sorry. I don't. This was not my feeling at that moment. Then I just listened to it. I wrote down what I felt, and I'm gonna tell, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. If you do want to know what this entire project is about and want to go more in depth, I will link a video in the description that will explain a bit more. The fucking cars. That will explain it a bit more, but I'm not gonna go too in depth with it. And I'm open for discussions, people. You can always hit me up in the comments. Well, anyways, thank you for checking this out, and let's start. I was just scrolling on YouTube when suddenly I saw this fucking thing in my recommended, and it really piqued my interest. The album cover was very disturbing to me, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, let me just click it. It's an hour or something, and I didn't know what I was listening, but it was very weird. It was just very underwhelming at first because I didn't know what I was actually listening to. It I thought it was just it's just an old record, but no. So I clicked away. The moron that I am, I clicked away, and something about the record, like not the music that I listened to, just the record, the image stuck with me, and I decided to look it up. The title also stuck with me everywhere at the end of time. It's and then combined with the music and combined with the cover, I thought there had to be something more to it. So I looked it up again, and I saw that there was a version of this that was 6.5 hours long, and I thought to myself, hell fucking no, I'm not gonna do that. That's too long. I'm not gonna dedicate my life to that. I'm not gonna dedicate my day to that, actually. But I was very curious, so I started looking up the artist, and I read a bit about the record. So this record, if you don't know, it's about dementia. There are six records over here, in total, making it 6.5 hours long, and it's each record is about a phase you go through when you have dementia. So phase 1 is the first record, phase 2 is the second record, phase 3 is the third record, and you go through this journey, and it's supposed to make you feel like you have dementia. It's very weird. I know it's very weird. Fuck it. But it was very interesting to me. And when you look at the album covers, it also shows you like the stages of dementia you're about to go through. We'll go a bit more in depth about the album covers after my experience, because I went in this blindly. I just read that and I was like, I'm doing this, and I'm gonna write down my experiences and I'm gonna share it with you guys, because I find that very interesting. I don't know if you do, but it looked really cool. It seemed like a great idea to me. Boy, I did not know. I wasn't ready for the journey down I was about to go down. Okay, I could have made a giant video. Oh, by the way, stay hydrated, guys. I could have made one giant video where I just filmed my reaction, but my PC can't handle that, and that would be boring to look at. And well, writing down my thoughts just sounded like a good idea. And I just don't want to make a fucking 6.5-hour video just listening to some noise. Okay, before we begin, this video, the 6.5-hour fucking video, is supposed to be listened to in one go. I don't have time for that. I want to eat. I want to go to the bathroom in 6.5 hours. But yeah, I took little breaks here and there for food. I played a game. I just took a break because I felt like it. So I did not listen to it in one go, but it is recommended that you do that. I try to take as little breaks as possible. But okay, let's get into this thing. Stage 1. Okay, at this point the music was very normal. You know, it's just an old record. Nothing out of the ordinary. It did have a bit of a creepy vibe. With titles as "We don't have many days left," or "We don't have many days." I'm reading it from the. Okay. With titles as "We don't have many days," it set a really unsettling tone for this entire project already from the get-go. You already knew that this was the end of, you know, the days. You already know that you're on the journey to the end, and that it's getting closer and closer and closer. Not the sound. You see it in the album of the record cover, and the song titles are very dark as well. It made me realize that this really was about the end of, you know, your time. You know, it's about the journey to well, losing on your memories, passing away. Very dark shit, I know. I love it actually. In about 20 minutes in the record, I started noticing some missing notes. Maybe that was just me because it was very subtle, but it would skip notes, little notes it would skip. And the songs also had bigger gaps in them, not too big where it would be like silent for 10 seconds or something. Like maybe half a second it would stop and then continue. Also the songs felt like they were repeating. It felt like it was maybe 5 or 6 songs and then them repeating these 5 or 6 songs. But it still sounded normal, but with a little bit bigger gaps in them. Okay, so that's the end of stage 1. Just normal music, I guess, with a little bit of gaps, but it could also have been done by because of the old record vibe that they had going. Just what I noticed. Let's see, stage 2. Damn, this stage picked up a lot more distortion. Not so much where you can't hear the sounds, not so much where you can't hear the music. It still had a very, very ominous synth in the background. The first song actually had a very ominous synth in the background. The music was still the focus in this stage, but it made it harder to listen to because you heard a lot of ambient noise, and the distortion became much more. I felt like I was hearing people walking around me. By the way, I was listening with this thing on, like just doing something, writing stuff down, drawing a bit. But yeah, I was hearing people walking around me. I was hearing heels, and later on in this phase, I was clearly hearing people walk. And no, it wasn't in my house because I checked. I actually checked. Yeah. Yeah. A couple of. Oh yeah. The songs also stop very suddenly. I've had a song where like mid song it would stop, and the next song would start. We'll talk a bit more about that in a sec, because I want to talk to you a bit about a few highlights I found. Glimpses of Hope in Dying Times is a song that really stood out to me. It sounds very, very terrifying, very creepy vibe. Man, I find it very ironically that it's the song title is Glimpses of Hope in Dying Times, because this song is dark. This is a very dark and low and distorted song, and then you hear like glimpses of happiness, which just gets swallowed by the noise of the dying times, which is perfectly what the song is trying to do. Very good song. And when I say very good song, it doesn't mean that yes, I fucking love it, I can jam to this. No, it's good at what it's trying to do. The next song that I wanted to talk about is actually this part in the second stage might have been my favorite in the entire record. Like stage 2 really picked up. Stage 1 was a bit boring, but stage 2, at the end of stage 2, you have a song. It's called I Still Feel As Though I Am Me. And from this point till the end of stage 2, perfection. It's so... Let me explain. It just blew me away. With this song, I Still Feel As Though I Am Me, I felt like I was shifting between the stages. The previous song was very distorted, very creepy vibes, and this one is a lot more calmer, a bit more positive. You know, you're thinking... the previous song was in Dying Times. It was talking... It was about the dying times, and now you're realizing, yes, but I mean... I still feel like myself, you know. Things aren't so bad. I still feel like myself. I can still do stuff. And then the next song hits. That blew me away. Because this song, I Still Feel As Though I Am Me, stops out of the blue, and then the next song starts. Well, like I was talking about. And the title of the next song is called Quiet Dusk Comes Early, and that blew me away when I read the title, because look at it from this perspective. See yourself in this. You have this memory losing disease. You're listening to some music, you're thinking to yourself like, yeah, things aren't so bad, and then all of a sudden it's morning, which in my opinion they nailed that. It was so good. Yeah, I felt like I was listening to music, and then all of the sudden time had passed, and it was just fucking morning. Which the song, the Dusk song, does sound like it's morning and the sun is rising. Very weird. Such a cool experience to have. Stage 2, by far my favorites. Yeah, definitely a highlight on the record. After that song, you have a song called "The Denial Unraveling." I picked this song as well because, like I was talking about in "I Still Feel As Though I Am Me," I was like, yeah, I still feel as myself. I don't have a disease, you know. And then the quiet dusk, and after that you realize, okay, maybe there is something wrong with me. But yeah, I feel like his denial is just slowly fading away. He's just slowly accepting, like, okay, maybe there is something wrong with me. And at this point, there's a song called "The Way Ahead Feels Lonely," and this song is just the most depressing song, the saddest song on this record, for sure, of this stage, because this song, it feels like you're being left at home alone. You hear rain on the roof or on the windows, and it feels like you see your family leaving. And with the rain, it's so sad. It's such a sad sound. And just imagine you're an old man or a woman, could also be that, and you have this disease, you have dementia, and your family is like, okay, let me just put him or her in a home, in a retirement home, where they can take care of him or her. It's insane. And you look out of the window, your family just dropped you there, and you just see them drive away. And the title, The Way Ahead Feels Lonely. Oh, that song. Oh, so good. Yeah, definitely Stage 2 was... these songs were such a big highlight. That was the end of Stage 2 actually. The Way Ahead Feels Lonely. Jeez, so good, so good. Stage 3. At this stage I try to write down my feelings about every song, but I'm gonna give more of a general idea of what this entire stage felt like, with a little bit of highlights, of course. The stage was very unsettling, because in the beginning every note that was played was met with a giant echo, like you tap and it was like tap 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 tap. Very weird, very creepy, but very interesting as well. A highlight of this record was "And Heart Breaks." Very, very creepy sound, and just a very unsettling feeling that it gave me. It's a huge, huge highlight. Another highlight was a drifting time misplaced on this stage, which also made me feel really uncomfortable, because the volume started shifting, the volume started switching up, and it, like, when you listen to this, it's like noise, and then all of a sudden they start doing something very weird, which feels really weird and unsettling, and just made me feel really uncomfortable. Other than that, it was just very creepy. It's still good. I don't really have that much to say, because there weren't any real highlights, like in Stage 2 for me then, at least. But I do gotta say, at this point in the record, like beginning Stage 4, end of Stage 3, I started forgetting what the first stage sounds like. I started thinking back and like, I don't even remember a single song from that. Could also have been because I've just listened to it once, but I couldn't remember a single note that they played. Not a single little snippet of the... No, I couldn't even remember. And at the beginning of Stage 4, same with Stage 2, I just knew I liked it a lot. I just didn't know what I liked. I didn't know how it sounded, how it was different from Stage 2 and from Stage 1. So Stage 1 and Stage 2 I completely forgot about. Now, I knew they existed and I knew I liked Stage 2, but what they sounded like, I still don't really remember, because I haven't listened back to it. I just know I like it a lot. And, of course, I read the notes before writing this. Okay, Stage 4. This actually got a little bit hard. Because when I read my notes, by the way, on this... when I read my notes on this stage... it just sounded like fucking madman scribbles, like, I feel really uncomfortable, I don't fucking like this anymore. I sounded really scared and very strange. But yeah, I wrote it down here as well. I don't really remember what Stage 3 sounded like. I just know it had an echo. That was in the middle part of Stage 4, because Stage 4 is just such a blast of noise. It doesn't sound like music anymore. You have very subtle instruments in the background. Sometimes you can't even tell what instruments are being played. But yeah, I didn't really remember Stage 1, 2, and 3. Well, I just heard Stage 3, and I loved Stage 2. Very weird. I had to take a little bit of a break here, because this stage really did get the better of me. It's so much noise. I just had to sit in quiet for a while. I just had to grab something to drink. So I did that, and I continued my journey. At the end of the stage, oh yeah, At the end of stage 4, it really clicked with me. It's not that I loved it. It was a bit long. The songs of this stage were actually from stage 1, 2, and 3. The songs were like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. From this stage to stage 6, the songs were actually half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour songs. So very weird. But yeah, it clicked with me at the end of the record, because again, when you place yourself in a situation where you're having these memory losses, you're scared, you're confused, and that was actually exactly the feeling that the music was giving me. I was confused, like, why the fuck am I doing this? What the fuck is this noise? Like, am I hearing a piano or a trumpet or a violin? Very confused. And the sound and the dark undertone of the songs, it's very unsettling. I gave so much. At the end, I hear the piano note. Damn, I made a video. My dumb fried ass brain made this video in Dutch, so now I have to translate it, but I can show it to you.
Bro. Ik ben nu bij het einde van stage 4. En de hele tijd, echt de hele stage 4 is allemaal noise en zo. Maar ik hoorde aan het einde 1 pianotoon. En dat herkende ik uit... Ik weet niet wat het was. Ik weet mijn god niet meer hoe die eerste stage ging en zo. Maar die ene toon die ik hoorde, dacht ik van... Dat ken ik. En dan, oh ja. Dat was gewoon zo'n mindblown. What the fuck. Ik kan gewoon niet beschrijven hoe fucking weird het is.
Like I said, at the end, I heard this tone, this piano note. And it gave me chills, man. Very good. Very cool. But alright. That was the end of stage 4. Let's continue to stage 5. The end of stage 4 actually ended with a softer, like, you can reflect, you can really think about yourself. I was still fucking pumped because I heard the note and I was like, fuck yes, that was so cool. And then stage 5 started with an enormous blast of sound, and it just, okay, we're still in this. We're still in this. Okay, stage 5. So it kind of shook me. This stage was just very long. It was very long. No more music. It's just distorted ambient noises. I heard a TV. I feel like I heard electricity. I feel like I heard a radio, people talking. But these noises, these 4 noises, all combined and distorted, and with a very low bass, a very low endless bass under it, just mixed together. I couldn't really understand a single thing that the people were saying, or a single sound that the other things were making. I just recognized it. It's just a connection I made with the song. Later in the stage, the entire sound I was hearing kind of started to fade into the background. It was becoming normal to me, like listening to that noise. Maybe that's me. Could be. I kept missing the transitions between the songs because some of the songs would just end abruptly, and like in the middle it would just end and then continue. So I don't know. Stage 5 was very weird. It was very long as well. So my brain was really fried at this moment. I don't know how much I can handle anymore from this. Well, yeah, it's just started to sound normal to me. Then when we're now at the last stage 6. Everything sounded so empty in the stage. It really felt, when I have to describe it, it felt like a void. Nothing stood out anymore. It felt like there was nothing there, just endless humming. Very weird. Yeah, I started hearing some reversed sounds with very low and dark hummings. I had to go on a little break after this because it was getting very tired, and I wanted to grab a drink. Yeah, I was getting tired in the beginning stage, so I decided to leave stage 6 for the morning. Yeah, in the morning I continued my deep dive into stage 6. It was 10 in the morning at this point. Let's see. One thing I noticed was a song called "Brutal Bliss" beyond empty defeat. Beyond this empty defeat. It was something that stood out a bit because every song, every stage had a song that in the title had the word bliss in it. You know, it's that little bit of hope that you got, but this one, the bliss, it just felt like, and it sounded like the bliss had been swallowed up by the fucking by the darkness. I don't know. It sounds very stupid, but it had been swallowed up by the void that was around you, so you couldn't really hear the bliss anymore. The little bit of happiness was just gone. It was very sad to listen to, actually. This song was the closest to what you can describe music to be. But you couldn't really tell what the instruments were. And at the end of this song, the music kind of felt like it was falling away. It not falling away. It was growing more distant from you because you're in the void. It set the tone for this entire for this phase. For the last song, I cannot fathom enough how mind blown I was with this last song. I couldn't even type notes. I was so immersed in this song. After the song, I made a little bit of an update video that I also have to translate now. I made a video, but it's in Dutch, like the previous one, and it's like 5 minutes long, and I don't feel like translating it all, so I'm just gonna do a do-over. The last song, man. Damn. You have this moment in the last song where you just hear you hear a loud thumping, like boop, just once, and it's like it feels like you're waking up. It's so weird. All this time you've been listening to noise, and the entirety of stage 6 is just, it feels like you're listening to the void, or there's nothing really there, but all of a sudden you hear this loud thump, and it feels like waking up. And then after that, you hear normal music again, which is very weird. When you listen to the music at the end, like after the thumping sound, it definitely feels more distant. So what I'm thinking is, yeah, the soul has left the body, and the soul can still hear the music, but it's not in the body anymore. I know, very, very weird, very crazy. But yeah, I think that's it. And as the song goes on, the music, it doesn't fade away, it kind of distorts. It's I don't know, it distorts again. There's the noise is coming back and the distortion is coming back, so it doesn't feel like you're drifting away. It really feels like you're, well, not fading away. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't really feel like you're drifting to heaven or something like that. Yeah, that was stage 6. Did I forget something? Not really. I just don't know what the album cover is supposed to be. Like, I know the other ones are supposed to be disfigured stuff that you can't identify, but this one looks like you can identify it, but I'm just not sure on what it is yet, but that's okay. This song was very emotional. If you have been through this entire journey, this entire project, it just feels like the end. It feels like you're accepting, like, yes, I am ready. It just feels like acceptance. The end was also very beautiful. I even choked up a bit. Like, that's how weird I felt at the end of this. But yeah, that was my journey of the record. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you yourself want to experience this, know that you are in for a very wild ride. A very long wild ride, actually. I would really recommend that you listen to this in one go, or with, like I did, with as little breaks as you can possibly like take. It is 6.5 hours, so would I listen to this again? I don't think I will, because it is 6.5 hours long. I already listened to this. I won't take another 6.5 hours. I think I got what I wanted out of this record already, so I do not regret it though. It was a cool experience, and something that I feel a lot more people have to take. It was a bit long. I have to admit, it was a bit long. I feel like some of the stage 4 and 5 things could have been cut, because it's just noise. It's just noise the entire way through. My favorite parts were the ending, the last half of stage 2 was goddamn amazing. Stage 2 is probably my favorite, and of course the last song, where you just realize just that moment what I talked about with the boom, where you just woke up and you hear the music again. Fucking genius. So good. Like, you really feel like you left your body, and you just, I don't know. Very weird. I know. It's weird. This really made me realize that memory loss is a terrifying experience, and I do not wish it upon anyone. But yeah, that was my experience with it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you want me to react to more music. It doesn't have to be as weird as this one. I'm also willing to listen to, like, normal music, I guess. Well, yeah, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Tell me what you think in the description, and in the comments, of course. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.